Hi everyone. This week we're talking about fairy tales, and I wanted to do the story about Little Red Riding Hood. And I have the storybook, but I also have a puppet. So I'm going to show you the puppet, and I might show you some of the storybook too. Little Red Riding Hood. So Little Red Riding Hood had a grandma. And her grandma would always come visit her and play with her. And she would go to grandma's house and see her grandma. She loved her grandma very much. And one day, her grandma didn't feel good. And so Little Red Riding Hood's mommy said, I would like for you to take this basket of goodies and bring them to your grandma because she does not feel good. And Little Red Riding Hood said, I would love to. Let's see if there's what's in the basket. Ooh, looks like some muffins and cupcakes. Looks good. And so she was going to take those to her grandma and hope that her grandma felt better. I think her grandma had a bad cold. And so Little Red Riding Hood decided that she was going to put on her cape and get ready to leave. And her mom said to her, remember, Red Riding Hood, do not cut through the woods. The big bad wolf lives in the woods. Now, if you think about the big bad wolf, I don't know what you think he looks like, but this is what my big bad wolf looks like. I'm the big bad wolf. Let me see what he looks like if I put my glasses on him. Yeah, not so good. Let me see. I have another pair of glasses. Let me get them. Hold on. I'm going to sit him down a second. These ones look like they would fit him. Let's try them. Oh, definitely. He likes these ones, I'm sure. They seem to fit him pretty good. So this is my big bad wolf. Well, Little Red Riding Hood decided that she was going to cut through the woods on her way to her grandma's house anyway. And on the way, she met a beggar. That's somebody who wants to know, like, they might beg you and say, can I please have some food? And she said, I can't give you any of my food because I'm taking it to my grandma because my grandma's sick. And so I'm taking her this food and I can't give you any of it. And so the beggar said, can you tell me where this road goes? And she said, yeah, actually it goes to my grandma's house. And I'm going there right now. And the beggar said, thank you very much. But it really was not a beggar. It was the big bad wolf. Let's see what he looked like underneath his costume. Ooh, he was hiding. And she did not know it was him. Well, the big bad wolf, he went to her granny's house. And he climbed through the window of her granny's house so he could hide. So when Little Red Riding Hood showed up, he could eat all the goodies that were in that basket. That's really scary. Little Red Riding Hood did not know that he was in Grandma's house. And she skipped along. And then she got to Grandma's house and she knocked on the door. Well, the big bad wolf had put Grandma in the closet. Look. He put her grandma in the closet. And he would not let her out. And the big bad wolf decided he was going to pretend he was Grandma. And he was going to trick Little Red Riding Hood. Let me show you what he did. This is what Grandma looked like. Hi, Grandma. And this is what the big bad wolf did. He put on her clothes and he pretended he was Grandma. And he had to hide his ears a little bit so that when Little Red Riding Hood got there, she would think it was her grandma laying in the bed. It was not her grandma. It was the big bad wolf. And Little Red Riding Hood, watch. She did not know that. Don't you like my toy? I love it. And so, Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. And she said, Grandma, I'm here. Can I come in? And the big bad wolf pretended he was Grandma, and he said, Yes, you can, my dear. Come on in. I don't feel very good. I'm laying in the bed. Please bring me all the goodies. I'm so hungry. Look at him hiding underneath the covers. He has glasses on, just like the glasses that I have. Ooh. Grandma, what big eyes you have, Grandma. The better to see you with, Red Riding Hood. Gosh, Grandma, you know what, Grandma? You have big ears too. Like, look at your ears. They're kind of big, Grandma. The better to hear you with, Red Riding Hood. Gosh, Grandma, when I look at you, Grandma, you have a big nose. The better to smell you with, said the big bad wolf. And the better to smell all the goodies with. And he jumped up out of the bed to eat all her goodies that she brought for her grandma. And Little Red Riding Hood screamed, and she ran, and she hid. Where do you think she hid? Behind the chair, so that the big bad wolf would not see her, and he would not eat all the basket of goodies. And the big bad wolf, look what he did. He was going to get her, and suddenly the window flew open, and the woodcutter who cut the wood, the trees, he came in and he said, You better go away. You better go away. And do you know what? The big bad wolf was scared, and he ran as fast as he could go. And then Little Red Riding Hood, she was happy because she got to see her grandma and the woodcutter and Red Riding Hood ate all the goodies together. And Little Red Riding Hood, she never cut through the woods again. She listened to her mommy. Never again. And so, Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma lived happily ever after. And the big bad wolf never bothered them again.